So last week we talked about the orcs from The Lord of the Rings, so let's keep it going and talk about another great villain brought to us by Lord of the Rings, the Wraith, specifically the Nazgul. This scene where Frodo is encountering the Wraiths for the first time is just perfection. It begins when we see Frodo getting hit with a sudden sense of dread and panic while he's on the road with his friends. Tension builds further when we see just how close the hobbits came to getting spotted by the Wraith. The Wraith itself was brought to life beautifully, as were almost all characters in Lord of the Rings. The Nazgul is the perfect blend of mystery and outright threatening elements. With a cloak that covers a face that is apparently comprised of complete darkness, wearing severe gauntlets, and riding a horse that's long overdue for a trip to the glue factory. In all seriousness, I found the horses they ride to be one of the creepier details about the Nazgul. These animals were bred in Mordor, and between the damaged hooves and the red eyes, it just reinforces how unnatural the Nazgul must be if these are the creatures they travel on. It's a really great example of, show, don't tell. The legend of the Wraiths is fairly dark, as they are meant to be beings on the edge of death with unfinished business, and that they are. Corrupted by greed and doomed to search for the One Ring, they're a stark reminder of one of the many fates that come to those obsessed with the rings forged by Sauron. Several characters throughout the Fellowship display an attraction to the ring, proving it's not just the Nazgul who are drawn to the power of the ring. And speaking of preoccupation with the ring, this is another element that makes the Wraiths so noteworthy. The way they are beckoned, how the ring calls to them when the ring is in use, makes them particularly dangerous. Being out of sight is not enough. They are drawn to the power of the ring, making it clear for Frodo and his companions it's only a matter of time before they encounter the Nazgul again. Defeating the Wraiths isn't easy, as their power is tied to Sauron. Tolkien wrote that their main power is the terror they spread by their presence, and can usually win a battle before it's fought just by spreading fear and dread. And this makes the scene at the beginning of the movie, when Frodo is first encountering the Wraiths, makes more sense. That explains the panic that he was feeling before he even saw the Nazgul. Tolkien also wrote that the Nazgul have no great physical power against the fearless, so fortunately they can be outmaneuvered if you can keep your nerve. All in all, the Nazgul proved to be a relentless foe and make my list of best movie villains.